My ex-girlfriend got engaged to a millionaire 2 weeks after dumping me. She invited me to the wedding to show off. I went. I also brought the paternity test, proving her fiancé wasn't the father of the baby she was carrying. Original post. I, 29 male, am still processing what happened yesterday. My hands are shaking typing this, but I need to get it out somewhere. So background. I was with my ex for 2 years. Let's call her my ex because saying her name makes me want to punch something. We'll call the millionaire her fiancé. They're married now, but we'll get to that. About 4 months ago, my ex told me she was pregnant. We've been talking about marriage, moving in together, the whole 9 yards. I was terrified but also excited. We went to her first appointment together. I have the ultrasound pic on my phone still, dated and everything. We told our families. My mom cried happy tears. Her parents seemed lukewarm, but whatever. Then week 8 of the pregnancy, she sits me down and goes, "I need to talk to you about us." My stomach dropped. You know that feeling. I don't think I'm ready for this. For us. For any of this. I need to figure out my life. What about the baby? I asked. I'll figure it out. But I can't do this with you anymore. She broke up with me. Via conversation, sure, but it felt just as brutal as a text would have been. Refused to explain further. Just kept saying she needed space, needed to find herself. The usual breakup word salad. I was destroyed. Begged her to reconsider. Told her we could work through whatever she was feeling. She said no. Packed her stuff from my apartment that same night. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks, I see on social media she's engaged. To some dude I'd never heard of. Apparently, he owns a chain of car dealerships or something. Big house, nice cars, the whole package. And she's posting about being so blessed and finding her soulmate and starting a new chapter. I felt sick. Did she cheat? Was she seeing him before we broke up? The timeline made my head spin. But here's the thing that really got me. She was still pregnant. Very obviously still pregnant in all the photos. And she was telling people it was her fiancé's baby. My baby. The one we'd planned for, gone to appointments for, told our families about. She was just reassigning paternity to her rich new boyfriend. I called her. She didn't answer. I texted. Nothing. Finally, her mom called me back. You need to move on. My daughter's found someone who can actually provide for her and the baby. Be mature about this. That's my kid, I said. According to who? You? She says otherwise. Unless you want to drag her through court and look like a deadbeat trying to trap her, I'd suggest you let go. The audacity. The sheer audacity. But I'm not an idiot. I kept every text message. Every ultrasound photo with dates. Every appointment reminder. Screenshots of her telling her friends about our baby before the breakup. I documented everything. Last week, I got a wedding invitation in the mail. An actual formal invitation. To their wedding. Happening at some country club venue. Black tie optional. The whole production. My first thought was, is this a joke? My second thought, this is a power move. She wanted me there to see her win. To see her with her rich fiancé and her perfect life, showing off what I'd lost. Rubbing my face in it. I almost threw the invitation away. Almost. Then I thought about that baby. My baby. The one she was passing off as someone else's to play house with her millionaire. And I got mad. Really mad. The kind of mad that makes you focus. I RSVP'd yes. +1, my buddy was happy to be my wingman. Then I made some calls. Turns out, you could do a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. It's not cheap, but it's possible. You need the mother's cooperation for the simple version. But there are legal routes if you can prove potential paternity. I talked to a lawyer. Explained the situation. Showed him my documentation. He raised his eyebrows. This is unusual, he said. But if you're certain you're the father and she's misrepresenting paternity, we file a motion. Judge looked at my evidence texts, ultrasound with my name on documents, her own social media posts from when we were together talking about the pregnancy. Granted me the right to request a test. My ex lost her mind when she got served. Called me screaming about harassment, about ruining her life, about being a psycho stalker. Her mom called threatening to get a restraining order. But the court order stood. She had to provide a DNA sample. So did I. And so did her fiancé if he wanted to be named as father. The results came back 3 days before the wedding. 99.9% probability I'm the father. Her fiancé, 0%. I had the results in an official document, notarized, and everything. So yesterday, I put on my best suit. My buddy picked me up, and we went to the wedding. Update 1. The venue was ridiculous. Like truly over the top. Massive floral arrangements, string quartet, open bar with top shelf, everything. Her fiancé clearly spared no expense. We arrived right on time. My buddy kept whispering, "Are you sure about this?" I was sure. The ceremony was outdoors, rows of white chairs, the whole Pinterest wedding aesthetic. I sat in the back. My ex's mom spotted me, and her face went pale. She leaned over to whisper something to my ex's dad, who turned around and glared. Good. They knew I knew. The ceremony itself was hard to watch, not gonna lie. Seeing her in a white dress, visibly pregnant, marrying another dude, saying vows about love and honesty and building a life together. All eyes, every word. When the officiant said, "Speak now or forever hold your peace," I felt my buddy elbow me. I shook my head. Not yet. They kissed. Everyone clapped. I sat there feeling numb. The reception started. Cocktail hour, then dinner. My ex kept shooting me looks across the room, but couldn't really approach me without making a scene. Her fiancé, sorry, husband now, had no idea who I was. After dinner came the speeches. Best man told stories about the happy couple. They'd known each other for 3 months, by the way. Maid of honor talked about soulmates and destiny. My ex's dad gave some speech about his daughter finding a real man who could take care of her. That one stung, not gonna lie. Then they opened the floor for anyone else who wanted to say something. I stood up. My buddy grabbed my arm. You sure? Yeah. I walked to the front, grabbed the microphone from the DJ stand. The room went dead quiet. Hi everyone. I'm sure most of you don't know me. I'm my ex's, well, ex-boyfriend. Murmurs around the room. My ex's face went white. Her mom actually stood up from her seat. I just wanted to say congratulations to the happy couple. It's a beautiful wedding. Everything looks perfect. My ex's shoulders relaxed slightly. Maybe she thought I was going to be mature about it. I also want to clear up one thing. See, there's been some confusion about the baby. Her eyes widened. Her new husband looked confused. The baby my ex is carrying. There's been some, let's call it miscommunication about paternity. Get him out of here, her mom shrieked. I pulled the paternity test results from my jacket pocket. Held them up. Court-ordered paternity test. Completed 3 days ago. I'm the father. 99.9% certainty. Your husband. I looked at him. Sorry, man. 0%. The room exploded. My ex started crying. Her husband stood up, knocking his chair over. What the hell is this? It's the truth, I said. She was 8 weeks pregnant when she broke up with me. Told me she wasn't ready. 2 weeks later, she's engaged to you, telling everyone it's your baby. The math doesn't work. Is this true? He asked her. She was full-on sobbing now. I can explain. The baby is mine, I continued. Documented medical appointments, ultrasounds, everything. All from when we were together. She lied to you about the timeline. Lied about paternity. And she invited me here to show off her new life built on that lie. Security started moving toward me, but I held up the papers. Everything here is legal and documented. I filed through the court. I have every right to claim paternity of my child. My ex's dad pushed through the crowd. You son of a... Careful, I said. Lawyers are expensive. Trust me, I know. I looked at her husband. He looked shell-shocked, staring at my ex like he'd never seen her before. Sorry to crash the party, I said. Congrats on the marriage. Hope you kept the receipts on everything. I handed the microphone back to the DJ, who looked like he wanted to be literally anywhere else. My buddy and I walked out. Behind us, the shouting started. We made it to the parking lot before we both started laughing. Like really laughing. The kind of laugh that's partly hysteria and partly disbelief at what just happened. Dude, my buddy said, that was insane. Yeah, worth it. I thought about it. About my ex's face when I revealed the truth. About her lies crashing down in front of everyone she wanted to impress. About her new husband realizing he'd been played. Yeah, I said, worth it. My phone started blowing up immediately. Her mom, her friends, people I barely knew calling me every name in the book. I turned it off. Didn't need that energy. I'm home now, still processing. No idea what happens next legally. My lawyer says we'll file for custody rights and child support for my ex. Apparently, her new husband might be on the hook for nothing since they married under false pretenses about the kid. But right now, I'm just glad I didn't let her get away with it. She wanted me at that wedding to feel small, to see her winning. Instead, she got the truth. In front of everyone. Update 2. It's been 1 week. Holy crap, what a week. First, the immediate aftermath. My ex's new husband, we'll call him the husband, left the reception. Just straight up walked out. Apparently, he drove to his parents' house and has been staying there since. My ex's mother has been running a full-scale PR campaign trying to do damage control, but honestly, it's not working. The day after the wedding, I got a cease and desist letter from some lawyer my ex's parents hired. Accused me of harassment, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, you name it. Basically trying to scare me into backing off. My lawyer read it and laughed. They have nothing. You proved paternity through legal means. You stated facts. Truth is an absolute defense. He sent back a response that basically said, bring it, in legal terms, and added that we'd be filing for custody rights and child support within the week. Radio silence after that. But here's where the entitlement really ramped up. My ex's best friend showed up at my apartment on Tuesday. Just showed up. Rang the doorbell at like 9 p.m. We need to talk, she said. I don't think so. Do you have any idea what you've done? She's devastated. Her marriage might be over before it even started. The baby dash. My baby, I interrupted. My kid that she tried to pass off as someone else's. She was trying to give the baby a better life. A stable home with someone who could actually provide. The classism was blatant. I'm a graphic designer, make decent money, but I'm not millionaire level. Apparently, that made me unfit in their eyes. So lying was the answer? I asked. She made a mistake. She panicked. And instead of being understanding, you humiliated her in front of everyone she knows. She invited me to that wedding, I said. She wanted me there to feel inferior. I just told the truth. You're ruining her life over an ego trip. I'm claiming my child. That's not an ego trip. That's being a parent. She called me selfish and left. Blocked me on everything. Wednesday, my ex finally texted me from a new number. You destroyed everything. I hope you're happy. I didn't respond. An hour later, the least you could do is apologize. To me and to my husband. I replied, apologize for proving I'm the father of my own kid? Pass. You ambushed us at our wedding. In front of everyone. That's sociopathic. You invited me. You lied about paternity. You tried to erase me from my kid's life. But I'm the bad guy. I was trying to do what was best for the baby. Lying about who the father is was best. Really selling that logic. She didn't respond after that. Thursday, her mom tried a different angle. Call me crying. Please, you have to understand. My daughter was scared. She didn't know how she'd manage as a single mother. When she met him, it seemed like a miracle. A chance at stability. By lying to him, she was going to tell him eventually. When? After the baby was born and looked nothing like him? You don't understand what it's like for women. The pressure, the fear, the dash. I understand she committed fraud. Paternity fraud is a real thing. She lied to her husband about the kid being his. That's not fear. That's calculated deception. She never meant to hurt anyone. She hurt me. She hurt him. And she was about to hurt that kid by denying them their real father. Her mom switched tactics. What do you want? Money? Is that what this is about? That actually made me angry. I want custody rights. I want my kid to know who their father is. That's it. You'll never get custody. No judge will give a child to someone who crashed a wedding and caused this kind of chaos. Actually, judges care about biological parents having rights. And I proved paternity legally. Her lying to her husband doesn't make me look bad. It makes her look bad. She hung up on me. Friday was the kicker, though. I get a call from the husband. He got my number from somewhere. My ex probably. We need to talk man to man, he said. Okay. Did you know? When you were together, did you know I existed? No. She broke up with me, and 2 weeks later, I saw the engagement announcement. I was as blindsided as you. Silence for a bit. She says the dates are wrong. That she got pregnant after you broke up. That you're trying to trap her. I have medical records showing she was 8 weeks pregnant when we broke up. The appointments were scheduled when we were still together. I can send you proof if you want. More silence. Why did you do it like that? At the wedding. Honestly, I've been asking myself the same thing. She invited me to show off, to prove she'd moved on to something better. I was supposed to sit there and watch her play happy family with my kid. I couldn't do it. You could have told me privately. Would you have believed me? Or would you have thought I was a crazy ex trying to sabotage her happiness? He didn't answer. Look, I said, I'm sorry you got caught in this. But she lied to both of us. She used you to escape consequences and used me as a backup plan she could erase. We're both victims here. Victims, he repeated bitterly. I married a woman carrying another man's baby. That's not being a victim. That's being an idiot. He hung up. Yesterday, Saturday, my lawyer called with an update. We filed for a court-ordered custody arrangement and child support determination. My ex has to respond within 30 days. He said her options are basically cooperate and negotiate a reasonable split, or fight it and look terrible in court while spending a fortune on lawyers. She'll probably try to paint you as unstable, he warned. The wedding thing gives her ammunition. I proved paternity legally through the courts before the wedding. I didn't just show up making accusations. I had documentation. I know, and that's what we'll argue. But be prepared for her to make you look like the villain anyway. I'm prepared. I've got texts, emails, medical records, everything showing I was involved in the pregnancy until she dumped me. Showing she lied about the timeline to her husband. Showing she tried to erase my parental rights. The truth is on my side. Finally. Update 3. Final. It's been almost 2 months since the wedding. Time to wrap this up because, honestly, I need to move on. The legal stuff resolved faster than expected. My ex tried to fight the custody arrangement initially. Her lawyer argued that my unstable behavior, crashing the wedding, showed I wasn't fit for shared custody. My lawyer countered with evidence of me trying to be involved during the pregnancy, my stable job, clean background check, and the fact that I pursued legal channels for the paternity test rather than just making accusations. The judge was not impressed with my ex's arguments, especially after it came out in testimony that she deliberately misrepresented paternity to her husband and tried to exclude me entirely from the child's life. We settled on shared custody, 50-50ths once the baby's old enough. Until then, I get regular visitation starting from birth. She has to put my name on the birth certificate. And yeah, she pays me child support. Not a lot since she doesn't actually have income. She was living off her husband, but it's on record. The principle matters. The marriage situation is messy. The husband filed for annulment. Apparently fraud about paternity is grounds in our state. My ex fought it initially, but he had proof. My paternity test results, timeline evidence, even testimony from wedding guests about what I revealed. The annulment went through 3 weeks ago. She's back living with her parents. The husband kept the house, obviously, and she had to return the ring. Prenup saved him from any financial liability to her or the baby. Her parents tried one final manipulation tactic. Her dad called me about 3 weeks ago. My daughter is 5 months pregnant. Alone. No husband, no partner support. You did this to her. I proved I'm the father. That's all I did. You humiliated her. Destroyed her marriage. Ruined her reputation. For what? Revenge. For my kid. For the truth. You could have handled it privately. Would she have told him the truth privately? Or would she have kept lying until the baby was born? He couldn't answer that. She needs help. Financial help. Emotional support. You owe her that much. I don't owe her anything except what's legally required for our child. She lied to me, lied to her husband, tried to erase me from my kid's life. Those are her choices and her consequences. Have you no compassion? Did she have compassion when she broke up with me while pregnant? When she got engaged 2 weeks later? When she invited me to watch her marry someone else while claiming my baby as his? He hung up. Her mom tried a softer approach. Sent me a long email about how my ex is struggling, how pregnancy is hard, how she's scared and alone, and the stress isn't good for the baby. I forwarded it to my lawyer. He sent a response. My client is prepared to be an active, involved parent. The mother's current emotional state is the result of her own choices and actions. We're happy to discuss co-parenting arrangements through proper channels. Haven't heard from them since. My ex texted me last week. First time in over a month. The baby's a girl. I stared at that message for a long time. My daughter. Okay, I texted back. Thank you for telling me. I want to name her something we both agree on. If you want to be involved. Progress? Maybe. Or maybe just acceptance of reality. I'd like that, I replied. We're supposed to meet next week to discuss names and logistics. My lawyer will be present. She agreed to that. Honestly, I don't know what happens next. Co-parenting with someone who tried to erase you from your kid's life is going to be complicated. Maybe impossible, but I'm going to try. For my daughter, the wedding crash was dramatic, yeah. People think I'm either a hero or a monster, depending on who you ask. My ex's friends and family think I'm a vindictive psycho. My friends think I did what I had to do. Internet strangers have very strong opinions both ways. But here's what I know. My ex made choices. She chose to lie to me, to her husband, to everyone. She chose to try to build a life based on deception. And when that deception got exposed, her world fell apart. That's not my fault. That's consequences. The husband reached out one more time about 2 weeks ago, just to say he didn't blame me, that he would have wanted to know, that he appreciated me speaking up even though it destroyed his wedding day. Would you have married her if you'd known? I asked. No, absolutely not. Then I saved you years of lies and a much messier divorce. Yeah, thanks. I guess. We're not friends or anything. Probably never will be. But there's an understanding there. As for me, I'm in therapy, processing a lot. The betrayal, the lies, the fact that I'm about to be a dad in a completely different situation than I imagined. It's a lot, but I don't regret the wedding. I don't regret exposing the truth. Maybe I could have done it differently, but honestly, she backed me into that corner. She invited me there to humiliate me. She got truth instead, and my daughter will grow up knowing who her father is, knowing I fought for her. That's what matters. That's all that matters.